Each year, the Hot Springs National Park Sister City Foundation sends students, teachers, and administrators in the summertime to Hanamaki, Japan, our sister city. And with me today are three individuals who have just come back from Hanamaki to tell you about their experiences there. I'd like to welcome three of you to today's program. We have Denise Taylor, who is the principal of Mountain Pine High School. Welcome.
You.
Also, Pooja Modi is here from the Arkansas School of Mathematics, Sciences, and the Arts, where she is a senior.
Thank you.
Welcome. And also Samuel Stephen, who is a freshman at Hot Springs High School. Welcome, Samuel.
Nice to meet you, yes.
Yes, so each of these folks have just been fresh from their Hanamaki experiences, and we're going to start with a question for Denise. Why did you apply for a Sister City scholarship to travel to Hanamaki?
Well, I moved to Hot Springs 2 years ago, and I had taken my mother to a quilt show at the convention center and stopped by the Deer Dance Regalia, and I thought that is really a neat thing. And then the email came through in my email at school, and I thought, that looks like an interesting experience. And in college I had taken some Asian history classes. I've always been interested in Asian history, so I thought I'll apply and see what happens.
Oh, very good. Okay, and Pooja, so you had an interest as well in Japan and in our sister city. Tell us about that.
My school is very, we have a sister school in Japan, and a lot of our cultural foundation is for Japan, and we co-host teachers with Lakeside.
So there's plenty of interest and connection already there.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Samuel, what about you and your interest in our sister city?
Well, the main reason I really applied for the whole Hanamaki exchange is the fact that I've never been to Japan, so I really wanted to, get the feel of the culture and how it was like over there. I've been to Europe, but never over there, so I was really excited to go.
Very good. And what is, Samuel, what is the interview process like? How were you selected?
Well, I was sat down in front of a table between three different judges, I guess you could say, and they asked me questions and, why would you like to go to Japan? And I simply said, I'm in awe. I mean, I've never been there before. I just want to grasp that culture, so.
And it's a very intentional selection process, isn't it?
Yes, it is. We had about 100 to 150 students apply, and then 20 students were selected.
And this is one of the largest groups, is it not, that has ever gone to Hanamaki in the summer. That's pretty exciting that the program is growing. Okay, so where did you stay when you were in Japan?
The first 4 nights we stayed in hotels, the first 3 at a hotel in downtown Hanamaki, and then we were very fortunate to get to stay at a resort hotel with a Japanese onsen right there in the hotel, so we got to experience that. And then after that we stayed with our host family for a couple of nights.
And what was your host family's name?
Kashiwaba
Oh,
san, and their son was the first Japanese exchange student to come here to the Hot Springs through this program.
that is
So his name is
fantastic.
Kohei, and we had a great time.
Oh, we all know Kohei. He is a fabulous person.
Yeah,
and I've seen some pictures of his family with you. I'm sure you had a wonderful time with them.
We had so much fun.
That's great. What about your host family experiences? Did you stay in a hotel or with a host family?
The first night we stayed in a hotel just to get rid of that jet lag, and so we'd be fresh in the morning to see our host families. My host family, they're really amazing. So I have a special dietary needs, and I don't eat seafood or meat. So they didn't eat as much around me. And then my host sister, she's amazing. We had a lot in common, actually. She goes to my sister's school, and she's super athletic. She plays classical piano like me. She's my age, and it was amazing.
And what was your family's name, the host family name?
Mamana.
And you bonded with them very well, did you not?
Yes.
Samuel, what about your host family?
Well, my host family actually got mixed up between one of my other friends that went on the trip. So, like on the email that Miss Nielsen gave us, we actually looked at it and said, "Oh my gosh, like our host families got switched." But we ended up working it out, and I actually originally had a bigger family than he did, so I ended up giving some of my presents to him, and we worked it out, so everything was fine. But my host family lived in like a townhouse type of thing, so I was really close into town, and I mean, I had a mom and a dad, and one host brother. So.
Well, it sounds like you were very flexible with the change.
Yes, yeah.
I'd like to ask each of you all, what was the biggest takeaway from this experience?
Coming from a school administration lens, I think that kids are the same everywhere, despite the cultural differences. We had the best time at the junior high school, and I was a junior high school teacher forever, and they were just the same as junior high school kids everywhere. Active, fun, funny, and we got to have some great interactions with them.
And how wonderful. Pooja, what was your takeaway?
I would say just like how kind and welcoming everybody was. Also, like they were just really excited to see us, and that really warmed my heart. And also, like they're extremely environmentally friendly, and like compared to the United States, like they recycle everything. I didn't see a piece of trash anywhere.
We can learn a lot from them.
And just like they want to be there to like have fun, and we went to this one place called Round One, and it's like a 5-story arcade, and just everybody got together and we just had the best time.
And you don't have a language barrier for having fun like that.
No.
There's no language barrier at all. Samuel, what was your takeaway?
Well, kind of to tie into hers, I really was in awe about how clean everything was. And she said, environmentally friendly and all that stuff. My dad actually drove an electric car, and it was just like, oh my gosh. I mean, there was no piece of trash anywhere. The kids actually cleaned up the schools, and I mean, it was spotless. And I was just like, wow. So that was one thing that I really took away from my experience in Japan.
Also, just despite the language barrier, they really tried to like talk to you, and that was really nice.
Did it give you ideas of how you could communicate with them better?
Yes.
Since they made such an effort?
We had the kindergarten that we went to visit, and they were so excited to see us, and they ran up and they're like, "Konnichiwa, konnichiwa." And then they started throwing out all the English words they knew: apple, banana, pineapple. And they were so cute. And then we got to play with them, and I got to do a little art project. It was a great time. It was a great experience to go see the different schools.
And I wish we could hear all of the stories. But what, going forward, are you going to do with what you've learned?
First and foremost, just open the eyes of the students in Mountain Pine. A lot of them don't get out of Mountain Pine ever, and that there's a whole big world out there to go and explore. And so I'll share my experience with the kids. We'll have an assembly when we get back and school gets started, and then encourage them to apply to go to Hanamaki and experience a new culture, because I think a lot of them, even in this area in Hot Springs, a lot of kids don't get out of Hot Springs. They don't leave. And so I think it's really important to understand there's a lot more out there in the world besides Hot Springs, Arkansas, which is a great place to live, but there's lots of experiences they need to have.
And in this community, we're so lucky to have this fantastic opportunity to send students from all areas of Hot Springs to Hanamaki. What about you two? What do you plan to take with what you've learned into the future?
I'm going back to Japan in the fall for a conference because I'm a STEM student, and also just going as a student ambassador. I hope to tell other students like this is an incredible opportunity, even with like the different schools that from Hot Springs. I've created lifelong bonds, and it's incredible.
I actually have still kept in contact with my host brother, emailing back and forth. He's like, "Oh, how are you?" And communicating with him back and forth, and he's really trying to make an effort to talk to me in English and me corresponding back to him. So I would definitely go again. I really got the best experience I could possibly get.
And hopefully, like, I'm really thinking about majoring or minoring in international relations, so.
Pretty exciting. And I'm sure all of you experience the fact that you've made new friends, but to the Japanese, friendships are for life.
Mhm.
And they'll continue to their contacts with you and want to know how you're doing. And where our lives have been so enriched by the hundreds and hundreds of people that have been touched by the program. So thank you all for sharing some of your experiences today. If you're interested in any aspect of the Sister City program, you can call 545-6960. That will bring you to Mary Zunick, who is the Sister City Program Coordinator. There's a place for everyone in the Sister City program. And next week, we'll bring you more city news.